Where are you? There we go, right there. Screen. Here we go. Here. Okay. Get rid of this. All right. I think we're good to go. Hopefully my microphone's working. 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Squared away. All right. Hey everybody. Welcome to B2B Hour. This is a monthly webcast series we facilitate here for B2B marketing and sales professionals. That includes business leaders, owners, entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs. That's you. You're in the right place. Today's Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. I am Ryan Girardi. I am your host. I thank you for joining us. I have a great program lined up for today. Our general theme here at Auto Conversion is, and for the show, is how to stay connected and engaged with customers, strategic partners, and employees. Yeah, how do you stay connected and engaged with all these different actors and characters within your business? Well, we offer a unique product here on Auto Conversion to help you do this. And we invite you here to learn, to network, and to grow. You grow your personal brand, your professional brand, grow your network, grow your online reputation. So last month, our focus was on key areas, 3 key areas of opportunity for your small business. And during the show, we focused on production, specifically media production. We looked at technology, the different tech stacks that you might have. And then we also talked briefly about blockchain and cryptocurrency as an area of opportunity for your business. But today, we're shifting our focus and we are looking at burnout, the idea of burnout, how to avoid it, and how to break through those failure statistics that we'll talk about in a little bit. I have special guest back today, Dr. Lance Knaub from Denali Consulting. He's author of the book, The 4% Break-Thru, so we'll talk about that. And for our health and wellness segment, we have a newcomer joining the stage. It's going to be Susan McHugh, a 2-time cancer survivor and certified cancer coach. And she's going to show us a simple therapy that she provides for people using her YoungLiving Essential Oils. So all this is coming up. Sit back, relax, enjoy. We'll be back in one moment. I could. All right, I think I got it squared away a little better here. I want to do some settings here. This is why you should have your own live producer. I am trying to do too much by putting together a great show and getting great people on here and being a good host and also being a producer. And so, that being said, I am definitely ready to have a live producer. But let's get into today's subject matter. So, over the last 2+ years, business owners and professionals, we've been thrust into somewhat of a wake-up call, I would say, where our values and our priorities have really been put to the test, I think is fair to say. Working professionals have been tested on our loyalty, not just with employers, but I think within ourselves. So I, for one, can attest to changes in my own values and priorities over the last couple of years. And I know that I'm not alone. Just prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, back in March of 2020, I had made a commitment to myself to be disciplined about working a 35-hour work week. And this was inspired in part by a pretty well-known book called 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Now, I didn't deceive myself into thinking I could work less after I worked too hard and for too long. Meaning I didn't see myself as busting my ass for years and years and years and years, and then having some sort of nice, free, relaxing life. I think that's a misconception that we have. I think that we have to strive for the life that we want today and then build your business around that. It's kind of the point I'm getting at. But words are words, actions are actions. And, for a while I was doing pretty well with my goal, but reality is that over the last few months, I've been working 50 to 60 hours a week again, not 35. And I'm breaking my own value system by doing that. And, it's okay that when you're doing that, sometimes you got to put in the extra mile. That's okay. But it's not something that you want to continue doing, year in and year out, because you will burn out. You very much will. So the last time that I experienced burnout, I would say that it lasted for several months. It was extremely difficult to work through. I think I felt fatigue, maybe forms of depression. I felt I was physically in a bad place. I was also mentally and emotionally. I was in the process of just giving up on my business altogether during that time. That was before I came to know a certain gentleman and his book, who've really become a great ally and resource for me. So in a moment, I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Lance Knaub. He's author of the 4% Break-Thru book, which I have right here. Let me just click the link to that. Boom. That's his website right here. There we go. He's also founder of Break-Thru Physical Therapy and Fitness, which is a multi-million-dollar, multi-location physical fitness and therapy business in New Jersey. And in Lance's book, he shares his 4% breakthrough process to help save you pain and time and scale your business to become a valuable asset. So Lance joins us this month, and we're going to discuss the importance of health and wellness for business owners and leaders, and even get some useful tips and insights from Lance. So after my interview with Lance, which I'm about to start, what we will do is I will bring Susan McHugh on for our health and wellness segment. And then at the bottom of the hour, we're going to flip everything. Everybody's going to be on. Everybody that's backstage in the yard have a chance to come up and talk, and we're going to speak through the idea of burnout. So without further ado, give me 1 second here. Where is my thingy that I need? I'll pop this here. And let's bring Lance to the floor. I'm going to remove that and go to here. Hello, Lance.
Hey, Ryan, great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Ooh, great to see you as well. I pressed the wrong button there. So, all right, here we go. That's the one I want. Great to have you back on the show. You heard me lay things out about burnout, and I can't think of a better person to go to for the idea. So I have some questions for you. I shared what I experienced burnout. How would you define it? Let's start there. What is burnout? How would you define it?
Yeah, the criteria for burnout. Well, first of all, I loved your blog piece, teeing up burnout, and I loved what you just shared. And I can remember when we first met, and you were really personally experiencing, some approach of burnout, and it was nice to take a step back and do some work on yourself and myself, and for me to support you, and then to do some work on your vision and your business, and create a plan and really then try to execute the plan. And I love what you said, right? That's, you want a business that is you want your life to be supported by your business,
your lifestyle, yeah.
Yeah, not the other way around. It's very easy for your business to become all encompassing and 24/7. So the criteria for burnout from a medical standpoint, and burnout became a medical diagnosis even pre-COVID in 2019. So depersonalization is the first part, where you really can't connect and engage with people. And the second part is emotional exhaustion. And the last part is really feeling helpless, like you just can't make a difference in anyone's life. So it's very common, particularly common in healthcare. in my world, I'm fortunate today to be on site at our 6,000 square foot fitness and physical therapy location in Medford, New Jersey, Break-Thru Physical Therapy and Fitness. And, we really believe that it's special to bring physical therapy and fitness together. That's one of our differentiating factors. And for me personally, I've been, fortunate enough, I'm humble enough to have spent a lot of my career helping clients and patients stay healthy and get healthy. And now I'm really focused on helping entrepreneurs get and stay healthy and get paid for commensurate for the roles they have and have double digit profitability and also create valuable assets for all the hard work that they're doing. So
That's how I look at, my businesses is their assets, obviously, that you're investing towards. To me, they beat a 401k. How serious of an issue would you say burnout is among, among working professionals?
yeah, well, let me tell you my personal story about burnout. And, we've just touched on and heard your story. So in, excuse me.
I need a small break, huh? Got to cough it out.
Yeah. So in 2011, we had 3 offices, about 30 employees, and we just had our 3rd child. So we had 3 children under the age of 4. And I was working 80 plus hours a week and not sleeping enough, not exercising enough, and generally abusing my body, all to focus on the business. And my body finally pushed back and revolted, and my digestive system, my gastrointestinal system stopped working. And that will put you in your tracks. Anyone who knows when your stomach and your digestive system is not working, it was embarrassing. I had to run to the bathroom at a moment's notice, couldn't get any nutrition, and therefore had zero energy. I can remember our July all team meeting, standing in front of our team of physical therapists, our front office, even our summer interns, and the looks on their faces as I'm trying to rally and encourage them and coach them and mentor them and lead them. And, I was running in the red and had nothing in the tank. So fortunately I was able to pick myself up. And
Can I just ask,
and please.
how long did this occur? What's the time period this covered?
Yeah, so this was definitely weeks into months, definitely months to like fully recover. But there were several weeks where I had to eat an extremely bland diet, the brat diet, and just to get some nutrition. And then it certainly extended into months to try to really get back. And I had to go in, see specialists and get an endoscopy. And, specialists wanted to rule out really bad things, right? We're going to talk about, health and cancer today with Sue's, expertise, to rule out, a tumor and to rule out celiac disease and some really bad things. Unfortunately, that was negative and there wasn't a clear answer other than, kind of too much stress and not managing that well. And, fortunately I was able to power through that. And really over time, months, and even into years, I continued to develop myself personally. And then I continued to get the business fundamentals in place. And lastly, I wove mental and physical health, all these lifestyle, factors into the equation, the mental health and mindset, the nutrition, the sleep, the exercise, the posture, and the ergonomics. And, when I wrote the 4% Break-Thru, I put all this out there for everyone else to learn from all the painful, mistakes that I had so that people can stay healthy while they're doing one of the hardest things, right? Entrepreneurs know that growing and scaling a business is extremely difficult, right? The stats prove it. 96% of small businesses fail in 10 years. And also only 4% of businesses, 96% of businesses do not ever even hit the 7-figure mark, right? There's some really tough data out there. It is not easy to grow and scale a business. And, fortunately, even taking it one step further, I'm humble enough to have figured out and created a wonderful leadership team, and mentored our best people and developed them and let them spread their wings. And we created a freestanding business where in 2018 our leadership team actually took over operating the company, which allowed me to spread my wings and to serve other entrepreneurs and coach and consult. And that's when I started Denali and put the 4% Break-Thru process in place to share with the world.
Would you say burnout is a thing of the past for you, or do you feel like it's always this looming threat? Because I feel like it's always a looming threat.
Yeah, great question. I think that we all have to pay attention to it, and especially if you've bordered on burnout or gone into burnout, you are definitely going to have to pay more attention. It's almost like in orthopedics. When we're a kid, when we're a child, many conditions kind of, we recover completely, almost like we never had them. But, beyond childhood, most conditions we have to kind of self-manage. If you tear your meniscus or hurt your rotator cuff, whatever the case may be, you have to really pay attention to that going forward and give it a little extra attention. You probably have a few kind of, in our physical therapy world, like management/homework things to work on. So I think burnout is similar to that. You have to pay attention to that. Now, yesterday I was talking to a 39-year-old entrepreneur who told me he wants more, to earn more money personally and for his business. And he wants to do more big things and all those things. However, he clearly knows in advance that he does not want to work, 80 or 120 hours a week, but he's trying to figure this out because each time he takes on a new venture, he is finding himself working more, right? Similar to you, Ryan, what you were speaking about right now.
Yeah, I'm an ambitious person, and there's a lot I want to do, and I'm sure you can relate. And yeah, the question is, how the heck do you pull it all off? Because you can't do all the work, and if you burn out, then you can't do any work. Just to kind of wrap this up, because we got to segue into our next
Sure.
segment with Sue. I brought up your book, the 4% Break-Thru book. I'll bring it up here. What can people expect from reading your book, Lance?
Yeah, you can expect a step-by-step process that if you there's two options. You can either read the book straight through. Each chapter is a step. So read the book. There's 3 sections: personal development, business fundamentals, and then lifestyle. So really kind of said simply, the book weaves business fundamentals in with mental and physical health, right? So you can expect to go through a process, and you can either read a chapter and do the process or step, or you could go through the entire thing and go back and do it. But if you actually put in the work, you will, I'm in the process of validating this process. It's worked for me to get out of burnout and to create a freestanding business, and it's working for many of the people that I'm coaching. So I think that it's going to be validated. I would love for you to test it. And of course, things are always a work in progress. A couple pearls, Ryan, I know you're aware of, that I'd like to share in the future versions of this book. And when I present, will be working humor into your life, and really playfulness and play. That the data and the evidence is really mounting and growing. It's just overwhelming. And I guess one last point, Ryan, before we move on, is the very first step in the book is finding your purpose, your mission, your cause, your reason, your why. And, again, this gentleman I was speaking to yesterday, very successful in real estate, and they were struggling with that. They were actually talking to me about it yesterday, going through the book process. And, I think that deciding what's most important to you is really important so you can commit to it. And also, some new data is really showing that motives matter. So serving others, part of your mission, you're going to really recognize, who you want to serve. Like for me, I love to help entrepreneurs who are feeling overwhelmed and burning out and have 6-figure businesses. So that's who I put my heart and soul into serving. So even if you know the data that serving others will actually help you, like, for example, if you make a referral or do something with the expectation that it's going to come right back to you, you actually don't get the health, the happiness, the fulfillment, the success benefits. So you really need to be genuine and generous and help people for the right reasons.
All right, excellent. I think that's great advice. Believe it or not, I think that's something my mother tried to instill in me at a young age. In my teens and early 20s was, you got to focus on others in the world and not so much yourself. And there is one of the keys
Mom was
to
right.
happiness.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Lance Knaub, thank you so much. Folks, I put his website up there, denaliconsultingteam.com, and we're going to segue to Sue, and then Lance will be back for our panel discussion in about 10 minutes. Thank you so
Okay,
much,
thanks,
Lance. Ryan. All right, give me one moment to transition here. What we're going to do is we're going to bring Sue McHugh up for our wellness segment. And, I should take a moment to just explain something here. This is a recording session. This is a live streaming recording session. It's also a networking event and idea exchange. Networking in the sense that you can meet some great people and get to know them here. I should probably take off this screen here while I'm waiting. I want to go here. Here's where I'm trying to go right here. All right. And like I said, it's a recording session for the AutoConverse podcast. And the AutoConverse podcast is a neat podcast. I've been working on it for about 4 years, and it's really evolved into a neat entity. I do a weekly episode, and there's usually a main talking point around a current event. So, for instance, the last episode was really kind of a tribute to Queen Elizabeth, who passed away last week. There's also about a 10-minute news and headlines segment where we get into technologies and innovations and developments that relate to how we're connected and the way we get around. But also in there, I put the highlights from our wellness segments here that are included in the podcast. This podcast is meant to be a relaxing, soothing audio experience, not this show, even though this can be. I'm talking about the podcast in front of you, the AutoConverse podcast. It's a soothing, relaxing audio experience, usually around 30 to 40 minutes. And about 2 or 3 minutes in there is the health and wellness segment. So that's partly what we do. And you can go to autoconversepodcast.com and find out, check out the episodes and even subscribe to it. All right, Sue, let's get Sue McHugh up here. I'm going to bring her onto the stage, and we're going to get our next segment started. Hello. Sue, welcome to B2B Hour.
Thank you for having me and for all the help that you've given me, and Lance too.
Absolutely, and I learned that from Lance, didn't I? Help people, and there's a lot of reward in that. So this is Sue's first time on the show, handling the health and wellness segment. I love the glasses. Can I make you solo, Sue, and have you kind of share? What are you going to share with us today?
Actually, I'm going to share what burnout does with cancer and also how to help people with burnout, since I am a classic burnout person, as I think you know.
I think we all suffer from it, don't we? I mean, we're all threatened by it.
If you have a business or several businesses and you really put your heart into your business, you will burn out at some point, because people like us, I mean, I don't know, I shouldn't even say like us, but I work every weekend. It's actually when I get the most amount of work done is on the weekends, because I don't have to answer the phone and talk to people, and unless it's a critical cancer situation. But anyway, I just want to share that I'm a 2-time cancer survivor, which Ryan said. And then after my last treatment, I went back to school and got certified as a life coach. And then I got certified as a cancer coach and educator. And I'm now working to get certified as a holistic cancer coach. And I was in corporate America for over 15 years, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Now, what I want to talk about as far as burnout goes is I am absolutely 99% certain that I got breast cancer 6 months after my father passed away. When my mother passed away in 1998, we could not leave my father alone in New York. So we bought a new house with an in-law suite. He came to live with us. And by the way, my father was bipolar. And after 3 or 4 years, I was so burned out. I was ready to do things I can't even mention on here. And within 6 months, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So, I mean, I think that really shows that my immune system was so shot and so low that I got cancer. So now my mission is to serve, to help cancer my clients, to survive and continue to thrive. I work with cancer patients and their families who struggle with the cancer diagnosis and everything that comes with it. But what I really want to talk about is how I dealt with burnout. So you know that I'm a cancer coach. That's what I do. And I help my clients a lot. However, one of the things that I learned, and I'll tell you a short story, was dealing with essential oils, or not dealing with, but using essential oils. I was at a meeting one night in an office building, and I knew that I shouldn't have gone because I had a horrible migraine. Well, it's the start of a migraine. And while I was sitting there, my migraine got a lot worse, and I had to leave the room. And I went into one of the other rooms, and some woman came in, and I said, please, I don't want to talk. I just want to be left alone. I'm in agony. And she said, well, I want to try something, and I promise you that within 30 seconds, your migraine will be gone. And I'm kind of like, yeah, right. So anyway, she used essential oils. She put peppermint on my cheeks. She put thieves behind my ears. She put frankincense on my hair, in my scalp. And in 30 seconds, it was gone. Now,
Wow.
I'm from New York. I don't trust people. I thought, well, that just could have been an accident. But I tried it on someone else, a friend of mine who had a migraine, and because she gave me things to take home and use, and it worked. So I started getting very interested in essential oils, especially because I was so stressed. I went from taking care of a bipolar father for 3 years to dealing with cancer. And if you don't think that whole thing is stressful, you shouldn't be on the show. It's very stressful. So I'm going to talk to you about essential oils. So moving from aromatherapy to aroma medicine, because one of my missions is to get doctors to intermingle, I guess would be a good word, Eastern medicine with Western medicine. And I see that some of the doctors are starting to do it now because it really works. But the practice of aroma medicine, rather than the somewhat more vague aromatherapy, is making very large strides in the United States right now. And the primary reasons are twofold. Many individuals have become completely disenchanted with the current conventional medical system. And I'm sure that, most of us, including me, can absolutely relate to that. We are paying huge amounts of money for very questionable therapies, with many medicines having threatening health warnings. I mean, if you watch TV commercials, you will see that everything has warnings that just go on and on and on and on. So the medical uses for essential oils, medicinal application of essential oils has been significant in recent years. Many oils have proven to have significant antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal action. So now the body of evidence of essential oils being strongly anti-tumoral with specific anti-cancer action is growing too. And this all comes from a very reputable publication called PubMed. And the National Institute of Health's online research database produces 391 results for the search essential oils cancer and 444 results for essential oil tumor. So I just wanted to give you an overall little story about what's happening in the medical field. So now I want to go into some of the oils that I use and that I use with my clients. Number one is, the first one I love is frankincense, because it does so much. It was derived from the medieval French word for real incense, Frankincense is considered the holy anointing oil in the Middle East and has been used in religious ceremonies for thousands of years. And I don't know, I never knew any of this about these oils, so it was all kind of new, but it was well known during the time of Christ for its anointing and healing powers, and was one of the gifts given to Christ at his birth. Used to treat every conceivable ill known to man. Frankincense was valued more than gold during ancient times. I mean, that is to me unbelievable that it could be, valued more than gold during the ancient times. And only those with great wealth and abundance possessed it. It is mentioned in one of the oldest known medical records, Eber's Papyrus, dating from the 16th century BC. And I think that's incredible. So some of the medical properties are that it's anti-tumoral, immunostimulant, antidepressant, muscle relaxant. And some of the uses that it's for is depression, cancer, respiratory infections, inflammation, and it is immune stimulator. I can't even imagine what it would be like if I had this when I was going through my cancer. I knew nothing about this. All right, so the next one.
So, quick question
Yeah.
on this. What's a good application of this particular oil? Rub it on you, cook with it, drink it?
I'm good with that. You can diffuse it up to 1 hour, 3 times daily, or you can directly inhale it, which is what I do because I get a lot of respiratory infections.
Inhale it like you mean like light it, like burn it,
No,
and then inhale it like smoke?
No. Through, I'm sorry. When
your nostrils.
If you have a diffuser, you put it in the diffuser.
Okay.
You put in about maybe 4 to 5 drops with the water line that's in there. And then as it diffuses, you can stand over it and inhale it. You can also apply it topically, 2 to 4 drops on location. Mainly the chakras, which unfortunately we don't have time to go into the chakras, but maybe another time. And you can also dilute it, which is not recommended except for the most sensitive skin. I don't dilute a lot of the oils because I'm just not comfortable with that yet, but who knows? Now, Lavin, you want another question? Do you have another question?
Well, let's go ahead and do one more oil because then we're going to wrap up the segment and then we're going to go to panel mode and we'll still be able to talk about the oils. So let's go into one more oil here.
This is absolutely one of my favorite, besides frankincense. And I think because of my disposition, my personality, and everything else, I use lavender probably more than anything. I carry, and I actually have a picture. I carry this with me in my pocketbook. And it's all the oils. I don't know if you can see it, but it's.
Let me bring it up here. Hold on. Okay, great.
Yeah, and it's great. It's a nice little packet. And you just throw it in your pocket. Okay, so lavender. The use of lavender essential oil for therapeutic purposes has expanded gradually, and evidence suggests that lavender has antioxidant, antibacterial, antifungal, and then a lot of words that I'm not going to go into because I'm sure that very few people will understand them, except maybe Lance. But it's very good as an antidepressant and a sedative, and has great properties for that. It is shown to be effective in the treatment of migraines and insomnia. Lavender has also been used to reduce cancer complications and relieve related symptoms in patients. So obviously, I use lavender a lot. Okay, I'm going to go into some of the uses of lavender. One is anxiety. Some oral lavender formulations have been shown to relieve anxiety, but additional studies confirm that these effects are needed. And I'm sure you have a question about that, but, a lot of people take lavender, they put it in juice or they put it in whatever they're drinking. But anyway, the next one is cancer treatment. Lab experiments have identified some properties in lavender that may be helpful against cancer, but no studies have been conducted in humans. A compound called POH that may come from lavender or other plants was developed as a nasal spray and showed some benefit in palliative care patients with recurrent gliomas, which I'm not sure what that is, but cancer symptoms control. Lavender did not reduce anxiety during radiation treatment. 2 studies that used lavender aromatherapy along with massage did find an increased benefit for the use of lavender. A hospital that allowed the use of aroma sticks found that lavender was among the most popular, did not disturb others, and improved breathing and relaxation. However, I will tell you that we have lavender diffusers in many hospitals across the United States because it calms the patient in emergency rooms down. Okay, so depression. Several studies show that lavender may help with depression, which, trust me, it does. Insomnia. It's great for insomnia. Several studies show that insomnia can improve and does improve sleep. For one study of lavender aromatherapy with massage in cancer patients, the massage itself was thought to be one of the benefits along with the lavender.
Sue, I'm really sorry to do this. I need to interrupt just because we need to segue. We're 10 minutes behind schedule here.
Can we just talk about pain? That's the last.
What's that?
Let me just talk about pain, and that will be the last segment. I mean, the last. Okay. All right. A few studies show that lavender oil is effective in treating chronic pain. In 2 studies with children, inhaling lavender lowered heart rate and pain medication use. Okay.
Sue, thank you. I know that it's a lot of technical detail, and this is really important stuff. I have your website up here, survivecancercoach.com, folks, and then that links to her YoungLiving Essential Oils. And I know this is a B2B show, but part of my objective with having a health and wellness segment is because of what Lance and I were talking about, which is you have to take care of yourself and not enter into a phase of burnout. So I don't mean to rush things through. I want to actually switch into panel mode, and then we can continue the discussion. We have Ron Sandell, and then we're going to bring Lance back on. So everybody, Susan McHugh, survivecancercoach.com. Sue, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
Okay. So what we're going to do is switch into panel mode. And I see Ron Sandell on stage, and I see Lance Knaub obviously still here. Before we get started, let me just point a couple things out. You see in front of me is the B2B Marketing Pros show plate. But once I bring this up here, oops, I got to take it off. There we go. If you go to autoconversion.net, and look under the sign up menu, and you'll see an option for B2B Marketing Pros. You can sign up for free, and that'll tag you in our system. And then you'll receive email information from us about this show and how to participate in this show as well. So you'll be tagged in the system. You'll receive a few email notifications. And when you do get those, we'll include the link to StreamYard to get here backstage. As you see, like Ron here, Ron wasn't part of the presentation, but he's part of the panel discussion. And that is something you can take advantage of. Why would you do that? Well, to meet great people. That's one thing, like I said, learn some new ideas, learn a thing or two about a thing or two. And also, like I said, if you want to get yourself into a podcast, well, you could go make your own podcast. Plenty of people do, but you can also get into our podcast pretty frequently. If you're in our podcast every month or so, you're pretty regular. It's kind of like having your own podcast. So head over to autoconversion.net. Feel free to sign up for free. That'll tag in the system. You can sign up for any other groups you see there, but you don't need to, because once you're subscribed and you get our emails, there's always a link at the top of them that says, allows you to specify your preferences. So you can add yourself and remove yourself from any of these groups at any time through our email delivery service. Now, I wanted to mention a couple of things. On a personal, let me bring the screen up. On a personal level, let me go back here right there. Where's my notes here? There we go. All right. On a personal level, health and wellness obviously are essential to our happiness and our business success. But at the industrial level, health and wellness in the form of healthcare specifically right now is huge, big business. You see in front of me my screen, I think I want this one right here. The owner of TikTok, Chinese company ByteDance, as you can see here, recently paid over 10 billion won. That's, I think, about $1.5 billion US dollars to take full ownership of Amcare Healthcare, which runs women's and children's hospitals in cities from Beijing to Shenzhen. And two ByteDance subsidiaries now own a combined 100% stake of Amcare. This is according to the corporate registry tracker, Kihacha. Now, I know that's in China, but my point is that's big tech getting into big healthcare. Amazon also recently announced that it intends to buy One Medical, which is a primary care provider that leverages in-person digital and virtual interactions in its services. One Medical went public in 2020, and Amazon said it will be paying $18 per share for the company, working out to an enterprise value of $3.9 billion. The e-commerce and cloud services behemoth has been making a number of inroads into this field under its own steam, including launching an online pharmacy and building an on-demand healthcare services platform. So I wanted to put those out there as examples of what kind of big business we are talking about in healthcare and health and wellness. It is serious stuff, as we can imagine. Ron Sandell, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Hey, Ryan, how's it going? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, of course. That's what we do here, folks. This is an open invitation. We can fit up to 10 people per show. And we don't necessarily, I mean, if there's 10 people, that's a lot. But, you know, we welcome you to get up here. So, Ron, coming in at it, I want to know your reaction to what you just witnessed from Sue and Lance. And then to cap it off, have you experienced burnout? How serious of a threat is burnout for you?
Well, yeah, no, Lance and Sue, their stories are fantastic. I mean, they're really a testament to one, what can happen in society today with the stressors, you know, these little things, you know, all that stuff that we're constantly being bombarded with, and how I don't know that our bodies are set up to handle it, right? So Lance was just doing whatever he thought was right to run a big time business, and you know, family and all that, and just, you know, you get wrapped up in it, right? And Sue, her story was great because you know, the stresses around you, right? Like stress has been proven to cause all kinds of problems with our body, and I'm a believer. I've got one of these puppies fired up right now, and Sue,
What is that?
Oh,
lavender.
I
know it's not yours, not yet. It's not yours, but it is one. So it's a diffuser, Ryan. Come on,
it's
man.
a diffuser. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like some sort of stress ball.
No. Oh, I have those too. Yeah, no, I'm in sales, right? I've been in sales for 30 years. So, and I'm in the medical device. And Sue, what you said about the medical industry, and, you know, how there's so much holistic care going on, and people are sort of pushing back on the norm. I mean, I sell one of these things, a flashing 360-degree video camera that Lance probably should have taken from his gastroenterologist. You know,
I had to do that. I was petrified.
Yeah, no, that's what we sell. But anyway, so this topic's very interesting to me because of the GI, because of the stress, because of technology and Amazon and Walmart and everybody getting into the business. It's insane. So it's just going to create more stress. So we have to find ways to meditate, tap, diffusers, aromatherapy, physical fitness, mental fitness, all of those things. And so that's what excited me about being on the show today. And I should have brought more people on to hear these good stories.
Love the props, Ron. Nice job.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like them a lot too.
Well, I had some time to get ready.
And I mean, I've got like probably, I don't know, 10 diffusers all over my house. Do I have one on my desk? No, but it's over there. It's that way.
Mine's right there, but it's the cord doesn't stretch too far. So
that's great.
And I don't even think you touched on the data with aroma and smells and people making purchases, right? It actually translates to revenue and to, you know, profitability.
Look at Disney. Do you know the story behind Disney? So I once took a backstage tour. If you walk down Main Street in Walt Disney World, when you walk by the chocolate store, you smell chocolate. When you walk by the bakery, you smell baked goods. They're pumping the smells out of the vents on the street, the sides of the buildings. You don't even know it. And you're just drawn to it. I mean, they're the best.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. They have strong aromas. They're natural though. They're just have fans blowing them in a certain direction, right? It's not like
Oh, yeah.
they're not like they're
Yeah.
artificial aromas.
No, they're probably natural from the bakery in the back of the building, right? I don't know how they do it, but it's amazing.
Lance, let me put some pressure on you. I want to keep the
Sure.
focus on burnout. That's the theme for today. It's important. We need to speak to business owners and leaders where, as I've said, I feel like burnout is a constant threat. So you need to build habits, and whether they're rituals or routines that keep you in a good place. So I just want to kind of impromptu put the pressure on you. Lead us into that. We have oils, diffusers. I'll throw meditation, and I like nature walks. Those are my ultimate forms of stress reduction. So where do we go from here? It's kind of an open-ended, but where do we go from here?
Well, building on all of that and all the good props and all the good additional information that Ron brought, the research has showed that 75+% of our lifespan and quality of life could be attributed to our lifestyle and to nurture and not nature. So we cannot blame our parents. We can't blame our genetics, right? It's up to us. Some of the newer research is actually showing it's probably 90+% of our quality of life and lifespan. So Ryan, the great news is that we can impact our lifestyle, right? All the things you've been touching on, the mental health, the nutrition, the sleep, the exercise, the posture, playfulness, and humor, right? That is in our control. We can control that. And just yesterday, I was with a group of entrepreneurs who are very, incredible humans and just very sophisticated. And, I know Ron saw we did an ice bath. That was the first time I did that. But just chatting with them, sleep came up. And somebody was using a sleep number bed that apparently has a whole, measuring system. And I use the Fitbit, which actually tracks, not only my, volume of sleep, but also the stages of sleep. So I can really try to dial that in. And, so each one of those components of lifestyle has a lot of nuance that really, you need to get to know your body. Yesterday's speaker at this event, Howard Aaron, who's a retired pharmacist, super knowledgeable guy. He said right now as a personal trainer, if you don't even know your caloric intake, he can't help you, right? So if you don't actually put in, some focus, some resources, and actually learn your body a little bit, you can't help yourself. So lifestyle is in our control. So let's put some effort on that.
Thank you, Lance. And again, I've got your book up here, The 4% Break-Thru. What is 4%? Tell us, explain that to our audience, if you could.
Sure. Yeah. So Michael Gerber, there's many studies out there, and they all come fairly close in range. And Michael Gerber, fame from the entrepreneurial myth, states that 80% of small businesses fail in the first 5 years. But by the way, don't get too excited if you're in that 20%, because 80% of that 20% is going to fail in the next 5 years. So if you actually do the calculation, 96% of small businesses fail in 10 years. So that's a pretty devastating number. And for me personally, and with Denali, my big audacious goal is to actually reverse that stat, help 96% of entrepreneurs succeed and thrive and actually have a balanced life along the way, so they don't compromise their health and they actually create a healthy asset that they can decide if they want to sell or keep.
I like that. Your big audacious goal of 96%. That would be great. Although then everybody would have a business. Everybody would have a lot of businesses. Ron,
Well, there'd be a lot more small businesses, right? Because right now, You know, yeah, the massive companies like you mentioned, Amazon, and to throw into the mix, CVS bought Aetna a couple years ago. So all these worlds are mixing, which, you know, Ron and Sue have brought together, like the technology and the tech companies getting into healthcare. And it's not always fiduciary. It's not always in our best interest, in society's best interest.
I was thinking about that just yesterday. I was like, c- corporate capitalism is all about profit, profit, profit. And we're watching all these companies. I'll use Snapchat as a good example. Kind of took over the world, and TikTok came in and put Snapchat down a little bit. Now Snapchat's laying off people. It's like, if you can't profit, it's like, it's it's almost like, are you supposed to profit forever and ever and ever? Then you keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Like, can't business just be a business and just stay in its space and hang out there? And small businesses kind of like that. Until they grow and become big. But yeah, it is kind of funny. I think we think of businesses that they have to. Do they have to be around all the time? What about a business just around for 5 years? I mean, that's okay too, to have those things. But that's a really significant percentage, I think, that you put in perspective for us, of businesses that fail. And anything we can do to invert that or just decrease those numbers, I think, are great. Ron, let me shift to you. Staying on the focus of stress and burnout, how has burnout and stress in general affected you? And I guess specifically, what do you do? You showed us your diffuser. What else do you do? I think you ride a bike. That's kind of one outlet for you?
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm in sales. I've been in sales management now, leadership. So, there's always these stressors coming at us just for work. I mean, the pressure you know,
So
to sell is great, right? I mean, everybody's selling in life, right? Concepts, products, services, whatever. But salespeople are actually tasked to sell their product. So we have a lot of stress in that area. So the diffuser is just this thing that sits there and kind of helps me stay calm every morning. Just about every morning, I do EFT tapping. So I believe in more of the mind and body combined. So like meditation's very good. Don't get me wrong, but I also tap on these meridians. I know it sounds a little crazy, but
real.
I feel like we can get both of the senses involved, like the touch and the mind, so to speak. So the mind body. And now that I moved into Center City, Philadelphia, from the suburbs where I would come home from work and just like decompress. Now we walk the dog, we walk ourselves, we go to a restaurant here or there, 50 in 52 weeks, just so you know. It's keeping the economy going. 50 different restaurants, by the way, so it's been quite a first year. But we I get out on the bike a couple of times a week for 5 to 10 miles at a pop, and with my fake knee and bad hip, that's a good non-weight bearing exercise for me for some cardio, but also flexibility. I'm actually going to test out two different places in the city here. One's called Stretch Zone and the other's called Stretch Lab, and they'll actually stretch you. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm going to do a demo at each place and see if that's something that's right for me. I've stretched as part of being an ex Division I athlete for many years, but as you get older, those muscles and tendons get a little tighter. So I'm going to look into that, and then I think that for me, from a business standpoint, and how I like to coach my salespeople and any clients that I have, is there's really three things that can help you with stress and burnout in very much of a routine way. So it's focus, right? So be more focused on what matters, what doesn't, what's urgent, what's important. Also, time management. We have a lot of tools out there that can help us with our time management. And if we let time get ahead of us, it creates a stress level. And I'm a bit of an ADD type of a person, because I can jump from one thing to another like nothing. But if I don't stay on one task and finish it through, I get caught up, and I'm not as efficient, I'm not as effective, and I'm more stressed out because of it. And then organization. So again, we have tons of organizational tools out there. that can help us with those things. So focus, organization, time management, those three things really can help from a business perspective. From a sales perspective, people be more organized and less stressed. There you go. There's a little article.
I happen to
about
be
it.
looking at your Substack, and you mentioned that about managing time and it reminded me of this post. I just brought it up right there. You can find that, folks, at ronsandel.substack.com, and you can subscribe for free and get all his stuff, which we've been working on for the last few months. You're really becoming quite the blogger, bro.
Yeah, I like to tell stories and make them relevant, right? So bring them into the benefit, the value proposition as a salesperson does. So
You
love it.
you do tell a good story. I commend you for that. So Ron and I recently launched a monthly Clubhouse event called Let's Talk Sales. It's the idea is talk therapy for sales pros. So check out Ron's site and learn more about it. All right, guys. Sue, any final thoughts before we head out for the day?
I just want to say one thing about essential oils. A lot of people think that essential oils, whether it's doTERRA or Young Living or whoever, is a pyramid scheme. And I'm sure, Ron, you've probably heard that from other people, right?
Actually, no, but
I think she's referring to the idea of affiliate network marketing is often
multi-level marketing. Hey, if it works.
Right.
Which really was just large corporations combat against businesses that make more sense, because the true pyramid schemes are public corporations.
What I was going to say is that I would say that 90% of the people that sign up, or that buy, I shouldn't say sign up, 90% of people who buy the oils, that's what they're doing. They're buying the oils. They don't want to get involved in becoming a brand partner or anything like that. But 10% of the people do want to do that. So it's not like, we push people to, become a brand partner and sell, even though I would love to be back in sales in the corporate environment that I was in. But that's another story. Ron and I can talk about that some other time.
So are you saying, Sue, that you want more brand partners, or you?
Of course I would. But I don't push people, except maybe Lance, but he's pushable.
Well, I think that's a good subject, Sue, for having you back on next time, is your B2B business with Young Living. Having worked with you and supporting you, getting to know the Young Living marketing platform is quite impressive. The resources they offer, coming from a media production standpoint, I obviously know firsthand of the incredible amount of time and energy, mental energy that it takes to make good, just media, just information, good quality commercial grade content. And Young Living provides an exceptional platform and content media for you to use for your business. So I think that's a great subject for another B2B hour for sure.
Do that. And, then I'll be quiet. I'll try to be quiet. But I'm also ADD or ADHD or whatever.
What's the oil for that?
We'll talk about that another time. Wait, Ron, I do have to tell you that you may already know this, but the people that started doTERRA were with Young Living. And basically what they did, because Gary Young, who started Young Living, was a little naive, I guess, but a lot of these corporate people left Young Living and started doTERRA. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm going to say about that.
There you go.
I think that falls in line with Shamelessly Steal for Pearls. Is that what it was called, Ron?
Something like that.
Oh, stealing shamelessly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I tell you what,
I think this is not shamelessly. I think if Sue, reading between the lines, that there was more than just a little shameless.
Yeah.
I think, Ron, I might have a video. Hold on one second. Let's see if I got it.
Oh, no.
And they
What do you
all
mean? Oh no, you like your videos here. I think it's
have
right
They have-
here.
marketing.
Steal shamelessly for pearls here. I don't know if you can hear it. There's the volume on this. The volume coming through?
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
Technology. It's
Yeah.
tough, man.
Well, I hear it. I'll shut it off. I got to figure the StreamYard thing out because it's supposed to play
I
the
want to
volume.
hear that. So,
All right. Well, that's a wrap. Dr.
Okay.
Lance Knaub, Sue McHugh, Ron Sandell, thanks for making the panel today.
Thank you
all
for
three.
having us.
Great group.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Ryan.
Bye, guys.
See you
See ya.
soon.
Bye.
All right, so we're gonna let them go, and give me 1 second here. I have to share a different screen now to close things out, and then we'll call it a wrap. So let me get back up here. All right, and as I was saying, if you go to autoconversion.net, fish around, look around up there, check out the blog. Here's all the B2B shows that we do every month. We do this show. And we usually look for 2 or 3 people to get up here. Next month, we're going to have a very special focus on video. We've got some video experts coming on, and that's going to be our focus for next month. And head over to this calendar link, which is right here, and scroll down. And there's our calendar. You can see when the shows are. We have 2 shows a month on 2 different YouTube channels. But look at all the group coaching that we have. We have a great coaching ecosystem. Ron's one of our coaches. Lance is one of our coaches. Sue is one of our coaches. You have a great community here, and we just welcome you. If you're in the coaching business, or if you are a business owner or leader and looking for great resources and people and technology, this is where you want to be. If you want to just be a fan of the show, go to that calendar link and follow this link below the calendar to B2B Hour. Sign up for free. And if you want to be on the shows, that's one way to do it, or join one of our discussions. I am Ryan Girardi, and we are done for the day. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks again to Sue and Lance and Ron for making it today. And we'll be back next month, like I said, here in B2B Hour. Take care, everybody.